Hey, it's Arcadia, your screen time squat mate. Welcome to Infinite Halls, where we explore the endless twists and turns of parenting in the digital age, the guilt, the joy, and the completely unexpected. I'm a former video game exec and a mom who's lived the screen time conversation from every angle. Around here, there's no judgment, just real stories, honest questions, and deeper understanding. Today, we're going to kick off a new segment, and we're calling it Expert Corners, the Hot Takes. In this conversation, I sit down with a parenting or technology expert, and we dig into a handful of the biggest stories in the news this week. No long lectures, no doom scrolling, just 2 to 3 minutes per story to unpack what's being said, what's being missed, and what it means for families. Today, I'm joined by my dear friend, Shalini Melwani, founder of Parenting Empowered, and certified parenting instructor in the Gordon Parenting Effectiveness Training Curriculum, an ADHD parent coach, and a longtime advocate for families internationally. What I love about Shalini is this. She doesn't start with rules. She starts with relationships. So this is a conversation about what actually really deserves our attention. All right, so let's get into this week's hot takes. Hi, Shalini.
Hi, Arcadia. How are you?
All right, I'm so excited. Every single day, every single week, us as parents, we're bombarded by headlines about technologies doing this for parenting, it's doing this to kids. And so we're just going to pull some of the hot headlines of the week and we're just going to discuss them. All right.
Perfect. That
Okay,
sounds
so,
good.
all right, this is the first one, headline number one from People magazine. 40% of girls would rather skip vacation than go somewhere without the internet.
That's, yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of crazy. Okay, so I'll give you the bullets. New research commissioned by the Girl Scouts of the USA looked at online habits of girls ages 5 to 13. The research found that 2 and 5 girls would rather skip vacation than go somewhere without Wi-Fi. Girls also said they often struggle to get their parents' attention away from their phones.
Interesting.
So what are your thoughts on that?
My first thought is 5 to 13.
That's a big range.
I think the right thing to do would be to go on that vacation with no internet and see how things pan out. I think it's probably a real problem for families. I think that a lot of kids are very frustrated when their parents are on their devices all the time because the parents are not listening.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
I think
this is an interesting poll because it's 40%, it's girls. They specifically asked for girls, right? And so as mothers to daughters, I think it's an interesting point of view. The thought that I had, and I don't know if you had this, is let's talk about what vacation is about, first of all, right? What is vacation about? And I think as go parents and go families, sometimes it's hard to get to the basics around vacation, right? Vacation.
right. So like wind down
Yeah.
to actually be on vacation.
I don't know about you. When I go on vacation, it takes me maybe like 2 days to even unplug my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. For
And
sure.
be present with my family. And so part of that, not having internet, right, all the time kind of helps that a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely does. I flew in South Africa last summer and there was no TVs. Well, there was Wi-Fi, but it was very static.
Right.
Of course, you didn't want it when you're looking at animals, but there was no screens anywhere, which was actually you just so relaxed when you're off. Like you don't even see a TV screen in your room. It's actually, there's something to be said about that. But what holidays are they talking about that actually don't have Wi-Fi unless they're going off the beaten track? So if you're going off the beaten track, then yeah, but how many vacations don't have Wi-Fi?
What happens when you have to take away that screen and be forced to interact as a family? when the goal of vacation is to unwind and connect with each other.
Yeah. But then I guess it also depends what the family dynamic is when you're not on vacation. So there's my parenting point of view. But, I mean, if you have a good relationship when you're not on vacation, chances are you'll be fine on vacation. So
Yeah.
there's something to think about there as well.
Can I be honest about something? Sometimes I don't want another parenting tool. I don't want something complicated or another system to manage. I just want something that fits into real life. That's why I've actually appreciated Life Beyond School cards. They're not heavy. It's literally one small prompt a week. One of them is just asking your kid, what mood are you in before you go on your phone? And somehow that question opens up a whole new different kind of conversation. It's not corrective, it's curious. Less control, more mentorship. If you're curious, you can take a look at lifebeyondschools.co or on Amazon. There's a link in the show notes and a code that I am giving to you exclusively from Infinite Halls. ISTPROMO20 for 20% off. Go on Amazon. You can get this great promo. I'll see you around Life Beyond Schools. Okay, I'm going to go on to headline number 2. Headline number 2 is, we've been talking about this a lot here in Hong Kong, obviously, because it's a close neighbor. What to know about Australia's social media ban. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Australia had decided to bar children from under 16 from social media. That sweeping federal law that is one of the first attempts at nationwide regulation. And so it's a New York Times article. A landmark law in Australia that took effect in December requires users be at least 16 to have accounts on Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook platforms, and other social media services. On January 15th, the regular tasked with enforcing and tracking the law, the e-safety commissioner, announced that companies had removed access to about 4.7 million accounts belonging to children under 16.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on
And I've been hearing a lot about it. I like the fact that there are no phones in schools. I think that's great.
Okay.
Then I read, then it said that how to track if you're 16, right? And they said that they
How
had
are they enforcing this?
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out, because it said it had some sort of tracking system on the internet, which sounds pretty scary. I don't know. They said something like you're going to need some sort of digital driving license for getting social media. I think it's a great law. 16 might be a little old. I don't know how you feel about that. I like the school ban, and I think the kids need phones if they're going home on their own and things like that. And so I guess they would put it in a locker or something. So I think that's really good. But what do you think about age? What is your thought on social media?
So, Shalini, I might disagree with you on this, right?
Yeah.
I think, well, first of all, right now, the COPPA laws, which are the child protection laws in the US for these largely American companies, except maybe TikTok, right? Is that you have to be 13 to be able to open an account. But there is no way for them to check.
They track. No.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you can put any age when you sign up, right?
Correct.
And so, and it's 13 largely because of some older laws, right? Around, sort of identity stuff and like, protecting children and all this other stuff, right? Of like old technology, right?
Right.
And so, the reason why, and I think, having as families concerted plans on how to introduce technology in the home and at what age and what's appropriate based on the maturity of the child. Because we know, even with our 3 children, maturity doesn't happen. Totally different, right?
Right.
And so I think that families need to understand and like really think about what that means for their family and their child. When it's it's like a ban on the government perspectives. I find that parents start to get lazy, right? Like they start going, oh, like now I have then shirk that responsibility of having that conversation about technology.
Right. Let the government handle it.
Let the school handle it. Let the government handle it. Let the schools handle it. Because I don't really want to have to deal with this very, very challenging conversation.
Yes.
And so I guess the ban, and we know this, the moment you say you're not allowed to do this, kids really want to do it. Right.
Yeah.
And so are we?
They'll find a way
introducing that?
around.
They'll find a way around, particularly because of the fact that now, if you're between the ages of 13 to 16, they've now removed access, right, to
Yes.
this thing, this lifeline, which will feel like a lifeline, right?
Yeah. Well, it does for them. Yeah.
For them. And then
So what is
they'll
your
want to
thought?
want it more.
So do you not agree with the law?
Well, okay, I think the technology companies need to be more responsible. I absolutely believe that.
But will they be?
But
That's
why?
the question.
But,
I mean, it's
and
not.
but
It's getting worse.
so if governments can put the pressure on the companies, right, in order to take more responsibility, that's good, right? But if
Yeah.
governments take on that responsibility away from the tech companies, then we're screwed. We're freaking screwed, right? Because the technology companies are just going to figure out ways to market to the kids. So governments banning the kids is not going to help. Protecting the kids is going to help. And so
That's
from a government
true.
perspective. And so this is where I kind of lie on it, because I feel like everybody's passing the buck. And ban
For sure.
anything on the line, right? Because of the fact that there's a lot of lobbying efforts that happen on either sides, and there's these like kind of old laws. And so I wish
Yeah.
that the government would put more pressure on technology companies in order for
I wish they
them
would too.
to protect our kids, protect the
For
kids.
sure.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure. There's so much happening. I mean, just reading John Haight's book,
Yeah, anxious
the
generation.
anxious generation, and just have that one pointer of how, the mental health departments in hospitals were flooded with teenagers when the year the front facing phone came out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which was 2014.
News. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's your statistic,
You see this
right?
statistics
What
and
is
it goes up,
happening?
up, up, up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense. There's so
Yeah.
much competition. I mean, you and I can see it in our friendship groups, right? You'll
Yeah,
see
yeah.
people partying, they post their best selves. And then you automatically feel like, especially for a teenager, it's like, why am I sitting at home?
Right,
Why
right,
don't
right.
I have
And that's
those
going to feel
legs
so
or-
much more. Yeah, yeah.
I think it's just an ongoing battle. And so Australia has done this, but then on the other hand, they don't really have jurisdiction over these companies anyway, right?
Well, I know. So, okay, so we'll see what happens. Australia's kind of like coming out in the front, trying to figure out how
Yeah.
to do this. There's a lot of conversation, lots of countries about how to do this. So this should be interesting.
Yeah.
We'll all be watching.
Yeah, there might be a teenager revolution in Australia.
Okay. All right. That was good. That was fun. All right. Headline number
Yeah.
3. This will be our last hot take.
Okay.
A new report has found 9 in 10 parents argue with their kids over technology use. Half said the topic comes up at least weekly. This came from Talker Research. A new report has found that 9 in 10 parents argue with their kids over technology use, and half of it comes at least once weekly. The poll of 2,000 US parents of kids aged 8 to 17 revealed a large majority of kids, 87%, say they've gotten into arguments about technology use with their parents, though 61% said these arguments tend only to last only for a few minutes at most.
Wow.
Those arguments over digital devices are primarily triggered by having too much screen time, 46%, and bedtime phone use, 40%. For many, it's egged on by gaming, 20%. Using devices during meals or family time is 28%. Watching or engaging with inappropriate content is 25%. And social media use is 25%. All right, so that's interesting. It's like almost like quarter each: gaming, meals, inappropriate content, and social media use. Outside of school, 56% of parents believe their kid spends too much time online. And 46% believe technology has had a negative impact on their kids' emotions.
Sounds about right. And I think it's factual. Unfortunately.
I think it's pretty
Uh,
much factual. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And it's true. And it's the biggest thing that comes up. I mean, what do you think? You talk to parents about screen time all the time. Don't they have these concerns?
Yeah. I mean, I think that parents, that's like the thing that they're talking to their kids the most about, right? This is not surprising, obviously, for you and I,
Yeah.
right? Like,
No,
we
it's not
We
surprising.
work
We
with
hear
so
it
many
every day.
families. Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
I think the part that like breaks my heart, it's the arguments. It's the arguments.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
9 in 10 parents, they argue about technology.
Everyday lives, and you can see it in the news, you can see it in schools, and you can probably see it through our own kids or friends' kids, how social media does affect them socially and emotionally. But again, it's just the parents have to sit down and have conversations with their kids instead of arguing, because if parents could just realize that the more you say no and argue, the harder the battle's going to be. And it's not
know.
always easy for parents because everyone's so busy, but we need to take that step back and really think about how we're going to tackle this challenge. And so the kids can have a healthier relationship with the screens.
There's another statistic in this study that I want to point out. And I'll be linking to these studies in the podcast. At least a third, 38% said the arguments have led to their parents taking away their devices at least once a month, leaving them feeling frustrated, 56%, and annoyed, 50%.
Yeah. So I met a parent just last year, I think, who said when she gets frustrated, she just shuts off the internet.
Yeah.
So it's like, how does that work? Like, what happens after that?
World
My
War III.
daughter slams her door and locks herself in her room.
Mm-hmm.
That's worse than saying, okay, how much more time do you need on that game? How do we know like they're not almost finished with what they're doing, right? And so that's number one, is you just cause so much frustration and hate.
Yeah.
Because at that age, that's their lifeline.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is modeling. I think a lot of parents don't realize that they're sitting on their phones and screens all day long.
Yeah.
Whether it be for work or not, but still. I mean, one thing to do is please put away your phone during dinner time if you want your kids to put away their phones, right? And so, yeah, I mean, we have to start with ourselves.
Yep.
What do you think?
Agreed, 2000%. Model. Agreed.
Yeah.
I have
Also modeling emotional regulation. So do we just shut things down when we don't like it, right? Or what are we showing our kids, that if they're losing a game, they throw the board on the floor? You know,
Right.
I mean, you don't just do that. You have to have a conversation around it.
Yeah,
It's just not good modeling. But it's hard. It's hard.
It is hard. It's
Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, I would have to also say, like, the thing that like 9 out of 10 parents argue with their kids over, like, clean up your room.
Yeah.
I feel like this is part of parenting.
But it's part of growing up.
Yeah, like a new report has found out 9 out of 10 parents clean up after yourself, or, you know, do your homework, or
Take a shower.
oh my God, right? So technology is just one of the many things that we
Yeah.
need to become better at communicating around.
I think technology is a little different because it can lead to dangerous situations where
Yeah,
cleaning your
yeah.
room and taking a shower doesn't lead to anything dangerous.
Shower, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, maybe no one will want to sit next to them. That's their problem. That's
Yeah.
where I think parents are just basically, you know, where if you really dig down, it's they're scared.
All of their fears.
It's the fears. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. That was fun.
fun.
Yeah, I think it was great. I hope that you could use some of those bits.
That's this week of Experts Corner Hot Takes. Big headlines move fast, but what matters most is how we make sense of them in real life, with real kids and real relationships. The goal here isn't quick answers, it's shared understanding. This podcast is a project of Infinite Screen Time, the organization I founded in 2020 to help raise screen-smart kids while still embracing the infinite possibilities of technology. If this episode spoke with you, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at akim@infinitescreentime.com or use the link in the description to learn more. Until next time, I'll see you around the infinite halls.